Alright everybody, welcome back to the Corsair Gaming Summit Tournament. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit. Joining me is LD, and we're here with our final best of 3 of today. It's the loser bracket final. The loser of this match is going to be going home. They're going to be knocked out of Group B. The winner of it, they stay alive. They don't quite make their way to the playoffs, but they get a bit closer here. They're going to be going up to the next match, the final match tomorrow, should they win against the loser of the other two teams still left in this group, still in the winner bracket, fnatic and KP. But right now, Uebelst up against TCM Gaming. We didn't see TCM's game, but they lost to fnatic very fast 2-0. Similar story for the German squad. They lost, got completely stomped by KP, it felt like, LD.
Yeah, that was a pretty one-sided beatdown. fnatic and KP, clearly the favorites in this group. The more accomplished teams, the more experienced teams. Although these teams, Uebelst and TCM, have been around for a while, they have not been getting to play as long or as deep in many of these tournaments, so bit less experience perhaps in the big spotlight. But here they are. Loser of this is eliminated. It will be knocked out of Group B, will be going home and not earning any of the $10,000 prize pool. Winner keeps their hopes alive and will play the loser of fnatic as well as KP tomorrow. But looking at the draft right now, TCM, kind of a weird one, I have to say. Naga, Dazzle, Weaver, very heavy emphasis on minus armor between Weave, Riptide, and the Swarm. But I do worry for them because they have 0 actual stuns. They have Naga Net, they have Sleep, but no real burst damage to speak of. And against this Uebelst lineup, you really do want to burst them down.
Yeah, they're going to have to hope for some strong laning and just a good early game here, which you can do. Dazzle, Naga, Siren have some nice synergy with the illusions and the healing wave, the shadow wave, actually being able to do a lot of damage instantly to an opponent. And if they're up against something like an offlane Dark Tier, they can cause some hurt. The Germans, they last pick a Kunkka, and I'm with you here. I think the German squad have a slightly more safe draft and also just an all-around stronger draft. They have a lot more firepower to them. They have a lot more way of just winning the early, mid, and late game, and even the laning stage looks really strong for them.
Absolutely. I really like the Kunkka pick, and they have great setup for it with the Bane Sleep, the Nyx Impale, as well as the Torrent follow-up. So lots of burst damage, lots of AoE. TCM will have to win the laning stage, I feel, but we'll see what this last pick is. Maybe it'll be kind of an X-Factor type of hero. We've seen Naga solo mid before. It's something that a lot of the European teams have been running, and, well, I wanted an X-Factor. I'm going to get it now. Not sure how this Omni Knight's going to fit in, but there are a lot of nukes on Uebelst's side, and Repel could be quite potent this game.
I guess they're expecting to be able to send it to the mid lane against most likely the Kunkka, although it could be a support Kunkka roaming with the Bane and it's a Nyx solo mid, but either way he's up against a melee hero mid. Or a dual lane. A Bane Kunkka mid would not be fun for him, but yeah, even so, Omni Knight's very hard to kill.
Yeah, even if it is a Kunkka mid, though, you can spam Tidebringer. That's got a low cooldown, and the heal bomb hurts, but it costs a lot of mana. It's not something you could spam constantly. Generally, I would say Kunkka's going to have the edge, even if that is the matchup. If it's a Darkseer, it's still going to be hard for Omni Knight. He won't die to these heroes, but I don't see how he's going to out-farm them. Maybe it's even a farming Dazzle mid. I mean, I guess their laning just feels awkward to me, and I still have to say again, where are the stuns? They have nothing.
They really like
I want to believe, Gods. Like, I really want to believe. I am excited to see these mass heals, the mass minus armor. It's a cutesy draft, but maybe a bit too cutesy.
It really might be. We are going to see Omni Knight go mid lane. He's been pulled decent chunk of regen. Yeah, get pulled Tango and South. Going to go for a first out on Quelling Blade, which he realizes how important these last hits are going to be in that mid lane, which is going to be played by Worm. We'll introduce our Radiant team Their team TCM, I believe, a Scandinavian team for the most part. Hawaiian Dota playing the Chen. Blueberry Ninja on the Weaver. Naga Siren being played by Go Audio. And that leaves us with Atsi Dota on the Dazzle.
Yeah, not to be confused with Yahtzee Dota. He is Atsi Dota here. Of course, on the Dire side, we'll have Uebelst Gaming. They got crushed by Kaipi, and that could not have been good for their confidence. They'll have Exist going solo mid as the Kunkka had a rough time against our TZ. EDE, especially in Game 1. In Game 2, he actually did pretty well, though. EDE, he was your offlane Weaver in both games. This game, we'll be playing the Darkseer. Alex could be handling the Nyx Assassin. We have Naturel, the Stand-in, I believe, playing the Bane. And last but not least, Armen will be handling the Gyrocopter. Starting with Wraith Bands as well as Bracers for these farming heroes in the safe and mid lanes. Kind of unusual builds.
Yeah, not normally what you'd expect for the most part here. Gyrocopter, I guess, can go for that early Wraith Band, get something like a early Ring of Aquila if he wants to, but we'll see how things sort of pan out here. As it is going to be Weaver and Nyx Assassin fighting over the top rune, just a regen rune, which, well, Alex ends up taking damage because he got it, so not really the best trade for him.
So I really like Uebelst tri-lane here in the safe lane. They have Bane Sleep, Nyx Impale, Rocket Barrage, and Sentry Wards. This is a recipe for a dead bug. Natural's going to sleep him off the bat. Actually, they don't have a whole lot of burst at this level, and there's no gyro here, so I feel that's a completely wasted sleep, but...
They may even go for a mana burn level 1 since he is a solo offlane, and as an offlane hero, you're never really going to put yourself in a position to die to chainsaw level 1. So Nyx Assassin can just zone him out with mana burn, then Bane can just do some pulls, which may be what we're going to be seeing in a second.
Yeah, we'll see what Alex goes for. Definitely around level 3 or so. That's where this tri-lane. Level 2 Level 2 Brain Sap, 2 points of Impale. You don't really need a point Carapace against just an offlane Weaver. So I think you go for max burst damage and the 1 point of Mana Burn. That's definitely enough for a kill. And there were no Observer Wards for TCM, which I feel if you run an offlane Weaver, you really want to get Observer Wards just so that they have to burn their sentries dewarding the camp instead of being able to save them to kill you in the lane.
Yeah, I fully agree here. And we are going to be seeing a lot of sort of aggression at this moment. ED's actually done a decent chunk of damage to both the Dazzle as well as the Naga Siren. Naga Siren mostly through the Iron, well, both of them through the Iron Shell, but TCM, they're looking for an early first blood here. They've brought the Chen in with a creep, but killing a Dazzle with Surge, all they've got is an ensnare. Yeah,
probably not with this creep, but they might make a go of it. He is level 2. If he mistimes the Surge, could be costly. The trap, as such as it is, will descend. There's your clap available, and they're trying to wait for the Surge. It's not coming yet. Now he uses it, and the net will catch him at max range. It actually might be our first blood. There's a Riptide, and that'll jam it in. Well played by TCM, just very patient. I think the Darkseer, you just need to keep on running there. Using Surge that early got him killed.
Yeah, as soon as you use the Surge, that's where the ensnare comes out. He's waiting for it because he wants to make sure the ensnare duration mostly occurs during a Surge, so... it's slight misplay from the Darkseer, but it would have been close either way. And he does get TCM the first blood, so this is the kind of start they needed when you have a QT draft. You needed to have a good laning stage with this draft of theirs, and Omni out at mid, he's been pulled enough regen that he should be able to last it okay against Kunkka. You mentioned the Tidebringer is going to cause him problems, and, well, it really should.
Yeah, he has quite a bit of regen. He also almost killed Exist. Exist was down to about 10 HP. Warren wasn't able to finish him off, but with the pulled regen, it's going to be tough. And here comes Blueberry Ninja. Haste Rune up. He picked it up top rune, and now wraps around. They popped the Repel early. No mana for heal, I guess. And the kill actually goes to Exist off with his head. My goodness. Well, that was not according to plan. They really needed just a heal bomb there. But yeah, I don't think he had the mana for it.
No need to call the Exterminator, just need to call Exist next time you've got a bug problem.
Just pour a little cocoa rum on it. Solves all your problems.
He's got this one figured out. That was a big mistake. I thought that was going to go fine for TCM. Even when I saw him not have mana for the heal, but that level 2 Tidebringer, just... yeah, he's got level 2 Tidebringer, just did a lot more damage.
What is Exist doing here? Ran into the tower.
Trying to find Courier, it looks like.
Yeah, there was a point, I don't know if it's still the case. Tidebringer at least used to hit couriers in Dota 2. I'm not sure if that was a bug that got patched. It was going on for like a good 4 or 5 months, and I have lost quite a few couriers.
Mid now, Ursa, Clap, going to get dodged. Nicely played by Exist, and he's even going to pick up this Ursa. Yeah, not going to get the gold for it, but he gets a decent amount of XP.
Gets the experience, and the good news for Uebelst is if their offlane goes poorly, EDE goes jungling, whereas if Weaver's offlane goes poorly, Blueberry Ninja is... Man, that shouldn't have been nearly that hard. Blueberry Ninja is just trapped. He is getting some experience at the tower. The wave gets pushed. But overall, I think as far as the battle of the offlane goes, I'd probably give a slight edge here to Uebelst, especially with that Weaver dying mid. But even without it, EDE's level 3. Weaver just now hitting level 2 and going to have a harder time fighting farm in the jungle.
The good thing for Daxter is that he can actually just go up to the jungle himself if he decides his bottom lane is too dangerous, which with Ensnare and now a Centaur stun to provide additional lockdown, it does get pretty dangerous. And TCM are going to take a fast T1 tower. He'll try stall this using an Iron Shoulder creep, but the Centaur is just going to pull that creep wave away.
Yeah, there's a double damage up on Exist. Doesn't quite connect on the torrent. Nicely timed repel by the Omni. He'll get out. But the big thing is they take the tier 1, and now Uebelst is trying to retaliate with a tier 1 of their own, but they don't have Arena Basilius. You really need that to push this early, not especially at this trialing. Torrent comes in again mid, and Wern is caught. They need 2 more chops. This Kunkka is going to find a solo kill on an Omni Knight. Big plays from the Pirate Man.
Yeah, we saw some sort of potential for playmaking in the last game, game 2 against Arteezy in that mid lane, where we managed to get a couple solo kills, and we're seeing it again here on the Kunkka.
And they're still working on this tower. They finally bring it down, and it goes to Arman. 1,700 gold up. What do you go here for here, gods?
He went for the fast Helm of the Dominator last game. Might go for that again, although I don't. It wouldn't be my preferred item, but just having boots right now, it seems weird. I'd love to just see him upgrade the boots to treads and phase, get even just a magic wand here. You're up against a Weaver in the offlane, that's easy magic wand charges. Magic wand should be part of your core items, really, so getting a naked Helm of the Dominator is nice and all, but he's just missing all these basic, cheap, cost-effective items which you want on a gyrocopter.
Maybe we'll see a YOLO Midas for the time being, sitting on his gold. 1,900 up. Not spending it. Really unusual. Gyro is a hero that, like you said, benefits from those early items, and what I can't really think of anything he'd be saving for. Even a Shadow Blade, if he wanted to rush it, he'd have at least one component, but playing a bit of a Mushi here and just hanging onto his gold for the time being.
Yeah, maybe just the fast surprise Shadow Blade comes out. I think Shadow Blade's fine here. I just think you may as well get a magic wand before the Shadow Blade. You're not in any rush to get as fast as possible, but we'll see some movement coming out from the 2 teams. Uebelst are going to rotate their 2 supports, Nyx Assassin and Bane, towards the middle lane, and they're not spotted by a ward. It's come at the right timing, which is just after that 6-minute mark when the wards have expired.
TCM are rotating towards the bottom rune. It is going to be a haste available for the Omni Knight to pick up, and they might find themselves a wild Kunkka. He throws out a torrent, but Wern slips past it and picks up the haste. He's going to try and fight his way out, or fight his way in, I should say. Exist, however, will simply run away. And they may make a go on bottom. EDE just have mana for Surge, picking up his Soul Ring. Here we go. They really want this kill. This is not an easy one, though.
Ensnare into Purification. This is easy.
Now it's easy.
A lot easier.
There's your heal bomb. Yeah. With the Ensnare, it is nighttime, but go on out just like strutted up to him, and there was no reaction.
He strutted up after popping a Soul Ring, which gave him 150 less health, but there is going to be retaliation now. Chenex are going to get caught out now. Kunkka, once again, Exist has been spot on with his play. He gets his 3rd kill of the game. He's 3-0. He's going to kill the center as well. Fast phase boots, bracer, bottle, 860 gold. He's had a phenomenal start here.
Yeah, great start for the Kunkka. Great start for the Gyro. Now, if it's a naked Shadow Blade, he's got it nearly. Virtually no pressure on him. Blueberry Ninja just unable to come near him. And they do rotate somebody in. Go Audio has Son of the Siren. Thing is, I don't know if they can actually kill Arman. If they go on him, Call Down and Rocket Barrage might just get them both killed. But for the time being, they'll back off. Arman will head towards the jungle. Only about 100 gold away. And they've left just the Weaver there. Naga rotates mid now. Son of the Siren, as mentioned online, they are a bit lacking in damage, especially against this Kunkka. Kunkka is a naturally very tanky hero with the Bracer, and now hitting level 8. 1,200 HP nearly. Sure, Purification is pure damage, but that only scratches the surface of the tankiness that this pirate has to offer.
And that's really the extent of their burst damage. Everything else is just sort of whittle away over time. You've got Weaver just doing a bit of right-click damage. Nagastar and Riptide is some damage, and that's about it. They're really a team who will excel in sort of drawn-out fights with all the heals they have from Chen as well as the Dazzle. So they don't want to have these sort of these instant burst damage kills. They just can't find them. Kunkka just way too tanky.
Torrent mid lane won't connect, but TCM grouping up as a unit of 4. 2 heroes smoked along with a Centaur. And they'll look for a wraparound here. They might find a courier. This has the Shadow Blade, I believe. No, it narrowly dodges them. They won't actually see it, and it'll get to the Gyro. So a fast Shadow Blade You can use this to dodge Nagas and Snare if you don't have detection, which could make a big difference. Of course, Ensnare reveals you if it hits you first, but here comes the wraparound. And Uebelst, well, ED's going to spot it out. Gank averted.
Yeah, and they could even look to turn this around. Daxi's just going to surge himself up there and, well, Bane, Nightmare onto the Chen. Chen can wake himself up using the Ursa. He will get woken up actually by the Dazzle and said Kunga. Both, but the sleep comes in at the right time, and TCM, they're going to try and fight this. They've got an Omni Knight, they've got the heal bomb, they're going to completely destroy the Darkseid, but here's the Gyrocopter, call down, Flat Cannon, great timing for a Guardian Angel, and this could save TCM from taking heavier losses, but Omni Knight, he's trapped in, he's got no TP, all these goes to heal, the X gets let out there as they go for the Naga Siren instead, he gets healed up, Riptide does a ton of damage to RMN as well as the rest of Uebelst, but not bringing them down. Now Go Audio, he's on the run, Kunka trying to chase him, needs a time bringer and some. That's not going to do enough damage just quite to kill him off, and well, a sound from the Naga Siren gets him away. Omni Knight survives as well, so TCM, it feels like they cut their losses there. That could have gone a whole lot worse.
Warren, however, might not be so lucky. He pops the heal, mid lane, there's no grip, actually with the repel, gonna be able to live. And Exist was just chasing that whole time. he really dove for that. He ran like all the way from mid, up the hill, and then at long last gives up.
Top tower is under attack.
That was the perfect, great positioning from Gyrocopter to come to mid lane right as a team fight's breaking out. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite do enough damage with all the heals.
That was without Hand of God. If they had Hand of God, TCM probably would have been in perfect fighting condition. They're really grouping up. That is my one concern, though, is when you go for these mass heal lineups, generally, you want to group. And grouping against Gyro, Flat Cannon, Vacuum, Wall, it's so much AoE that at some point, it's just going to overpower your heals.
It is going to become... That's where Uebelst is going to look to sort of get these kills, just instant burst down from Nyx Assassin. Him hitting level 6 actually pretty important, just having the Vendetta surprise initiation for those instant pickoffs, especially if you can find someone like an Omni Knight. But it's Omni heal, Chen heal, Dazzle heal, triple heal. It's not only minus armor, it's also a ton of heal.
Yeah, it's a lot of heal from them. We saw them group up mid once, but they are still looking for their second tower of the game. And when you have a Chen in the jungle and such a good pushing lineup, you'd really like to take all these tier 1s in the next 5 minutes or so. And that's why we'll see TCM group up top and look to contest. And immediately the reaction from our man. Shadowblade already picked up in the last fight. He could pop Flat Cannon here and maybe look to make a go. TCM, no sentries. Actually, they do have a set. One on Otzi, but he's not sure where he wants to drop it. In comes Naturel. Fiend Script not online yet. He will back off. No Song of the Siren. Couldn't use that to engage. It's a little scary for them to push in. They don't have their mech yet. They don't have Hand of God yet. And the Omni Knight ult still cooling down. It is about to be ready. No Psalm though. TCM won a group. They won a 5-man or 4-man as Blueberry's bottom, but they'll get a net here on our man. Pops the call down. Drops like a rock. Really fast step for him. And they might have just walk away. TCM trying to retreat out. Exist in the fight. Has a torrent. Throws it now. Nice dodge by Warren. Gonna escape. The torrent will connect. Natural gets off asleep, but there's no torrent follow-up. In comes Alex. Out goes Alex. Can't make up his mind which way he wants to go. And there's your Song of the Siren. Look for the Omni Heal Bomb. Look for the Dazzle Shadow Weave. This could hurt. This is gonna hurt. Alex caught. Oh, back. The wall deployed, and the Omni Dome comes in. A lot of burst damage. Otzi, first to fall. No, he gets the Grave off. Now, Alex might be the first to fall on the run, and it's Exist giving chase. This Kunkka trying to do a lot of work, but heal to the face. Down he goes. Hawaii Dota's still alive. One more auto tech should finish the job. It does. And now a wild goose chase through the river. He'll TP out. No net. No mana for it. And we'll get away.
The heal was a second too late. That would have actually killed him off. Omni Knight is just proving to be... He's the X Factor. You mentioned that they need something like that, and Omni Knight... These big heal bombs are just doing some serious work, and every hero that Uebelst is trying to focus down is just not dying. They don't quite have the burst damage needed. They don't have that one sort of big nuker, whether it's something like a support nuker like a Lina or some kind of a Queen of Pain or a Puck. They just lack it. Kunkka in the mid lane is not a burst damage hero, and Gyrocopter as your carry isn't a burst damage hero. Nyx Assassin is sort of the closest thing to that, but he's a support and he's under-leveled right now.
Yeah, it's 6-5 now. Dire side's still leading. As far as gold goes, well, experience is even, and gold slightly favoring the Dire. There is that tier 1 advantage in the bottom lane, but that's equalized by the top tower. So tower score even. Very, very slight advantage here. And Uebelst still start to farm towards their next items. They really need this mech on EDE. He got shut down pretty hard. Joining all these early fights, just has the headdress up. Is there even a buckler? This is going to be a very slow mech. Already 14 minutes in. I think that's the most important thing for them. After that, probably the RMN BKB is going to be next on the list.
Yeah, they need to get RMN more farm for sure. This to me seems to be a game which Uebelst are going to have to take late game if they want to fight TCM. TCM with all the heal, this really weird mid game, which is just so hard to kill and so durable if they stick together, isn't something that Uebelst can fight into unless they find pickoffs. If TCM decide they're not going to stick together, that's where Uebelst will maybe look to punish them by smoke ganking, taking pickoffs, taking towers where possible. To see how things go down. It looks like right now the German squad are positioning themselves around this bottom lane.
They want to make it go on Blueberry Ninja. He's found some levels in this bottom lane. The pressure was relieved. He wasn't fighting with his team. He'll Sakuchi and dodge that missile. Now a sentry gets stopped. They're really committing to this. This does not feel like a wise position to be in, and they'll back off. Now they repel Blueberry Ninja. He surges forward, pops the medallion. Naturel jumping very quickly, sitting on negative 13 armor. I guess negative 8 in total. He's low. He gets surged back, and a 2-hero stun by Alex. Nicely played. Should allow them to retreat out. Yeah, that was not going to be a good dive, and very wisely they will back off. There was even Hand of God, which hasn't even been used yet, so just even without the TPs, I feel there's no way they get that kill.
Yeah, this is, now that Hand of God's in play, it's coming at the same time as the mech, which is a huge boost to their healing potentials, as if it wasn't already enough with just Omni Knight and Dazzle. There's now a Hand of God, a mech, and these, well, TCM somewhat unkillable. As long as they're sort of stuck together and play these fights right, killing them off is going to be very difficult. So Uebelst, they're sort of forced to go back, play a farming-based game here.
Omni Knight actually going for an Ogre Club. Generally, I would say it's a BKB, just so you can repel your teammates, and he is maxing repel first, but there is that new Ag Scepter upgrade for Omni Knight. Affects your buildings as well. Could be nice, but then again, if you're on the back foot and forced to use it to defend your buildings, you're probably already losing, because their lineup isn't really a play from behind lineup. It's much more of a play from ahead, group and fight. So most likely a BKB, maybe a Heaven's Halberd coming out for him next.
Yeah, I think that the BKB is quite nice here. Heaven's Halberd probably it's a great item in general, but just a weird item to get as your first big item. Maybe even no, it's not Santini actually. He's not going with DGen DPS.
Carry Omni. Carry Omni.
They kind of need more DPS. That's the problem with Naga as your main carry. You kind of lack DPS somewhere. I guess Weaver's doing okay here with his fast medallion, and all the minus armor means that these heroes, even without damage items, can do decent damage.
They're grouped up, and as a unit, they're going to rotate top. They're going to find RMN. Sentry Ward deployed. Net will fly. And now RMN is about to be a very sad little gyrocopter. Even the Naga illusions. The heal bomb is there. Well, that is their one big aspect of burst damage. You pop your mirror image, then you heal bomb, and the Shadow Wave really hurts. And they'll find another kill. This, what looked to be a rather gimmicky draft from TCM, is working surprisingly well. 6-6, they'll look to push this top tier 1.
Yeah, and it definitely seems like something they've maybe been practicing here. Because they first to pick the Dazzle, I want to say, didn't they?
They picked... Oh god, I can't even remember. I think the Weaver was one of their first 2 picks. Was it?
Was it Weaver Chen? I feel like it was like Weaver Dazzle as their first 2 picks.
Yeah.
We came in at the end of the draft, partly because we can't say too much during the draft because these are teams we don't normally often cast, guys. This is very unconventional drafts, not something you'd often see in your conventional Dota, but it's really interesting to see TCM execute it so well. And Omni Knight, definitely a viable hero. EG's run it in the past as an offlaner, but right now TCM putting some, I guess, merit to the solo mid Omni Knight.
The nice thing for Uebelst is, even though they're definitely on the back foot right now, make no mistake about it, unable to defend their towers, forced to give them up, they still have a great base defense lineup and probably the better late game. In goes the Torrent, the call down, the burst damage. Hawaii Dota won't bother with the Hand of God, just pops the mech, does bite the dust. Even if Uebelst lost all their outer towers, even if they were to fall like 10k gold behind, I still wouldn't count their lineup out. And now they're starting to find kills. They're going mid, straight onto the grip for word, no chance for a repel, and I think he'll fall. They find their footing here, and now a tier 1 mid might be in the offing.
Yeah, this is a TCM slight slip in their game plan. They just had 2 heroes caught up by well, Chen not so much caught up by himself, but caught away from the Omni Knight. Omni Knight needs to always be with his team because he's the one, the instant burst heal, which is sort of keeping them alive, and that Chen can't out heal without the Omni Knight there. And then Omni Knight on his own at mid gets picked out as well. So unfortunately for the Omni Knight, that does sort of give Uebelst, throws him a bone, and they're actually getting a T1 tower out of this.
Exis will take the last hit, now he'll Shadow Blade out. He picks up Blades of Attack and he'll head towards a Daedalus, or at least a Crystallis. Daedalus may be a little ambitious to say when he's only got 1,000 gold, but Finds a DD rune. I wonder if they'll think about Roche soon. They do have this mech on Darkseer. Pretty tanky lineup. Darkseer, Kunkka. Need a little more map control to do it. But something they can look forward towards down the road. And TCM, he'll push out, go out here and push out the middle lane. They need to continue to group and take towers, though, because like you said, if they're much stronger than the sum of their parts. If they're grouped up, you can heal each other, you can keep each other alive, but if you're isolated, you can mech and Hand of God, and you're still going to die to a couple of heroes.
Yeah, I fully agree there, and we'll see them somewhat grouped up now at the middle lane. They may want to try and take this tier 1 mid. I think it's okay if Weaver's maybe not with them, if he's on his own, go for this like 4-1 split, but they definitely need at least 4 heroes sort of grouped up, looking to try and push and pressure towers, and they're doing just that now in the mid lane with the Chen Crypt there. This tower, the Germans aren't contesting it right now. They haven't put the glyph, so they may look to engage.
Well, there's your call down. Your vacuum will fly, and say goodbye to your creeps, Chen. Hand of God, and now the Psalm. They try to turn it around. EDE caught, as well as Naturel. And let's see if they can bring EDE down. Should be pretty dead. There's that double troll trap, easy picking. In comes the boat. Are they going to get out in time? The Omni ult pops a little bit prematurely, but keeps them alive. And now Fiend's Grip will go audio. Gets graved at the last possible on the way out. Trying to escape, but cornered by these illusions. Exist is going to find him. In comes the missile. 2 hero heal bomb. Wern is doing a lot of work, a lot of heavy lifting. Hawaii Dota not going to be so lucky now. Isolated and picked off. They end up losing 2. And just kill off the Darkseer for it.
Yeah, they almost managed to heal the Naga Siren. He was halfway through healing that low HP Naga Siren. Then he got stunned up, and by the time he was unstunned from the torrent, it was too late. Naga was dead, and now Weaver bottom lane should be okay here, but we may see this. Yeah, T1 tower goes down. Gyrocopter actually picks that up really low, and with this, the German side, they've sort of looked scrappy here and there, but they are now pulling ahead.
And they're the lineup that can come back, whereas TCM is this lineup that, in theory, can take it late game. Like you said, if the Weaver's just off farming, it's something of a 4 Protect 1, but a rather low firepower 4 Protect 1. Weaver, just not the best hard carry, especially not against Fiend's Grip, Nyx Assassin, and all his nukes, and just so much lockdown and burst damage in the mid game. And speaking of that, Nyx, he has hit level 6. He's been in this for a couple of minutes. Alex had a very slow start, but now he'll go for a Vendetta gank, and TCM will have to be careful. They'll need a gem soon, and they actually have one aware now. And Alex is going to walk right into the trap. He does run away. TCM on the hunt. Can they get in range to pick him off? It looks like he'll barely escape. Smoke gank completely blown. And, well, that's going to hurt a little bit. Top lane, go audio with the haste rune. They can go on EDE here.
Is he going to get this kill as well? It looks like EDE, taking a lot of damage, won't be actually going down, but you can really see the weakness of the TCM lineup there. They smoke up. They have a gem, they see the Nyx Assassin, but how do you actually kill him? Naga Siren wasn't there. They don't have an ensnare. They have nothing else to stun, slow him, or make it possible to kill him.
That's the thought that counts, though.
Ensnare is the sum of their...
Oh, man. What was he thinking? Just charges into the creep wave all by his lonesome. No idea where the enemy team is. It'll pay with his life. Blueberry Ninja in the river. Oh, looking for Alex. Alex probably going to drop to the swarm here. The monitor goes off, and down he goes. And Alex, well, he will fall. But they do get the kill on the Weaver, and that's a Weaver who's been giving farm priority. So, a decent trade for Uebelst. 2 heroes dead, however. That's not so good, losing the gyro top. But just getting the Weaver helps, and I guess they're going to have to give up this tower. TCM flexing their muscles now. And as a unit, very hard to fight into. Boat will come through along with the torrent. Hits basically nothing. That was a fail boat. And TCM might not commit fully to taking this tower, but definitely doing a lot of damage.
I think they need to sort of just keep chipping away and pressuring it though. This is what their lineup really excels at. They are going to catch Exist with an ensnare, and the heal isn't quite enough. Defensive Nightmare being used, much like he used Disruptive Shadow when they burst down Dazzle. Big mana burn into Brain Sap, and that's a fast and easy kill for him.
Whoa, mama. That's going to leave a mark. That was a big Kunkka cleave. And that's the other thing that Uebelst really have going for them is Mirror Image is actually going to be pretty useless. Between Tidebringer and Flat Cannon, yeah, good luck having illusions that do anything in the mid-game.
Yeah, so we'll see Uebelst back off here. They can...
I just want to point out, I like how you've chosen a different pronunciation every time you say it. It's like oops. Oops, and it's like Uebelst, and then it's Uebelst, and someone said we should just start calling them You the Best, and I think that would
I'm on board with that, but I don't want to disrespect them. They are a team who's sort of been around a while, and they're putting up a decent fight here, despite their bad showing against KP.
Yeah, and Roshan now, well, there's the claim, and with that, we'll see Uebelst march towards the late game with the much stronger team fight lineup. Lots of burst damage, lots of AoE. TCM, I wouldn't yet call it a complete gimmick, but where's their game plan to actually break the base? I am just not seeing it right now.
There's no real backup plan to start ganking or even getting kills. It's all about team fights and team pushing. They need to be grouped up and just taking down towers with brute force. That's really where their lineup excels. Just 4 or 5-man pushing with a big creep army with all these illusions. But like you said, Cleaver's going to start bringing down illusions. Flat Cannon starts bringing down illusions, and then suddenly this big army of theirs, which is meant to help kill towers, is no longer there.
Well, Arman, once again, just kind of farming off on his own. He's going to get caught. There's your heal bomb, but Go Audio drops the heal of his own on the Naga. Warren gets healed back up. Now a Fiend's Grip being channeled by Natural. It's a long Fiend's Grip. I don't know if it's enough, and in comes Arman. Shadow Blade to his name, giving chase. The Torrent's going to connect. Hawaii Dota gonna fall. No, not yet. Still alive. There's your heal. Finally goes down. TCM really making Uebelst work for these kills, but they are getting them.
No TP. Omni Knight is dead.
Well, it was a cute effort.
There goes your jam.
But it was a fail effort. He'll go down. And
exists now with a crit. He's got enough money for a Daedalus in just a second.
Jesus.
This is a farmed Kunkka.
7-1-6. Solo mid Kunkka against an Omni Knight. I mean, I still think Kunkka should win that lane, but killing the Omni is pretty hard, and he killed him repeatedly, so great play from him.
Well, gifted with the Darkseer Shadow Fiend combo last game. Hopefully we get gifted with a big cleave and crit here from this Kunkka.
Maybe we'll see a Rapier. This Gyro also might go for one. I feel like it's one of those games where you could probably get away with it, because if you just pop your Flat Cannon and hit 2 or 3 times, TCM are probably dead, and what can they do to punish that? All they have is net. They don't actually have stuns, so he's going to get to auto-attack in these fights no matter what. And with Lifesteal, I don't know if they can actually burst him down.
Get a Divine Rapier. If you're really worried, get a Divine Rapier with a Ghost Scepter, because Ghost Scepter can get you out of the ensnare. It sounds illogical because you can't attack with the Divine Rapier, but it's purely when you're getting focused and ensnared up. So
yeah, it sounds very logical, but I actually think that wouldn't be a bad way to go.
I reckon that's legit. Maybe not quite as legit as just getting an MKB and playing safe, because Uebelst are ahead and they'll probably win fairly comfortably with just a safe-ish item build. But
Jesus, they're now leading by 8k gold, 12k experience, and TCM. I feel like this car is just run out of gas. I don't really think there's a plan B at this point. Weaver's going for a Lincoln Sphere, but it's going to be like a 32-minute Lincoln Sphere. Naga, Diffusal Blade, as mentioned, the illusions are useless, so she's just a big melee creep that can cast a few spells, not a particularly scary DPS threat. A lot of these supports are looking awful squishy. I think they need a pit stop, and that might be in Game 2, because Game 1 looks to be pretty much out of reach for them.
Yeah, they're looking very bad. I think they're out of pit stops. They're getting lapped right now by Uebelst here on the racetrack. And
they are getting lapped. That's a good way to put it.
Uebelst, well, Tier 2 tower under their eyes at the bottom lane. That's only with 2 or 3 heroes here. They're just sort of chipping away wherever they can. They're happy to keep on farming with the Darkseer as well. Darkseer, he's sort of caught up after that tough time here in the offlane. He's got 3k gold all of a sudden, and things very, very grim for TC.
Yeah, if he gets a Shiva's, vacuum, into Torrent, into Boat, into Clack, into Flak, into Cooldown, into Impale, into Shiva's, yeah, without that, that's gonna hurt.
They're gonna look for the Ice defense. Keep on sending in Naga Siren illusions.
The Ice defense works a lot better when you have a Radiance, a Butterfly, and a Heart.
Yeah, when those illusions don't die to one Kunkka cleave.
I was kind of sad that Zenith lost that game, by the way.
Ice played that so well. Like, Zenith were so far behind, but his illusion micro was just phenomenal. Like, he would send those, he would ignore the Alchemist and send it straight to the Nyx Assassin, the Mag, and a fight wouldn't even happen. And Mag and the Nyx Assassin would be suddenly on like a quarter HP. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, he's such a good micro player. I just feel they need to find kind of a better way to incorporate the Naga into their strategy. Like, if you get the XY Tinker there, I feel they could take that a whole lot later, but oh well.
That would just be disgustingly turtley.
That's Zenith. That's Zenith at their best, though. Like, that's what they're ridiculous at.
Turtle, split push, and just be annoying. Well,
cheesy
I don't
play.
think TCM's lineup is really designed for that. They lack the mobility. They have the Naga Siren, but these other heroes around it just It's all about the group up and push for them, but that has not worked at all. And
I
the
think
Daedalus up, and he went BKB. Okay, I didn't see that on Gyrocopter. He was BKB.
You know, this is the I want to go Divine Rapier, but I'm not going to be a man about it. So I'll go for the safe insurance item, and then I'll get a Rapier and have a nice final scoreboard. That's my name.
Also, a Naga sleep bottom lane.
Yeah, there was a rather feudal Naga sleeve, to say the least.
Yeah.
Gets
Maybe
out.
It could just provide an opening where Uebelst know they can more safely push these towers here. Although a sleep isn't. What's a sleep actually setting up? There's no real
Heal bomb.
spells. Earlier on, it was the heal bombs, but at this point in the game, there's enough survivability. BKB, Gyrocopter can BKB, Darkseer has a mech, and it's going to be Kunkka and Gyrocopter in the front lines mostly. Nyx Assassin has Carapace. Heal bombs are no longer going to work.
It's, like I said before, it's literally a zero stun lineup. These are a dying breed in competitive play. I mean, in fact, they're an extinct breed because they just don't work in like 99% of situations. But they made a go of it, and now they'll reap the whirlwind as Uebelst just marches down mid. 5 heroes grouped up. They might back here to defend, but they really don't need to, at least not for long. The end is coming for TCM. It'll be short, it'll be swift, and then they'll have to recover in game 2.
Yeah, it really looks that way. They do have the chain creeps on the high ground. They're trying to counterpush top lane with Luber and Ninja, who is also trying to just finish off that Lincoln Sphere. So that's something which will help a little bit with this defense, but only so much. Gyrocopter's on the high ground, just chipping at this tower, and TCM, they're not even really showing any signs of engaging to slow this down.
There's not even a song for Go Audio. He's picked up a Reaver. He doesn't have buyback, I believe, but they'll go in now with an Omni Knight Repel. They try for the tower die. Can't even get that. Now a vac, a wall deployed. Oh, this looks bad. Go Audio on the run. Wern graved up, but likely to fall soon. That was a nice heal bomb, but it hasn't addressed our men. Gem hits the deck. Exist on the run. Hawaii Dota casually wandering into the fray. Needs to be wandering back to the fountain, and it'll be sent there rather painfully by Uebelst. They've killed off a few. The buybacks, well, are there going to be any? There's a buyback for the Omni Knight. Now the Omni heal. They'll try to fight their way out. Gyro still hasn't even BKB'd in this fight, though. They still haven't chipped away at him. Not even in the slightest. Mana burns there. Buyback from Weaver. Buyback from Exist. To what end? We'll see. Impale's there. I don't know if our man can burst them down, but he should be able to run away. The net comes out, gets caught for the time being. Alex, fight Carapace up. Now the BKB. Call down, cooling down. It's there. Oh, the minus armor actually doing a lot of work. He'll fall. Well, that was a surprisingly good defense from TCM, but they used quite a few buybacks there. The Weaver, the Omni Knight. They do pop the Aegis, at least.
Yeah, and fight maybe not quite over Kunkka. He's bought back himself here, so it was Uebelst going through a buyback or two also, but they're not going to be able to bring down Wern here, so decent-ish hold from TCM. The one place they do excel at, even without disables, is going to be these team fights, just because of how much heal they have. They have a decent amount of AoE and just damage that they can actually take team fights. They're not particularly good at ganking or finishing off heroes, but as long as Uebelst is trying to stand still, hold their ground and fight, TCM can do some damage, and they managed to do so there, but it still feels like it's not going to be quite enough. We saw, though, that the Gyrocopter, he can be killed, he can be brought down, and TCM, they're very tanky and durable. If Gyrocopter doesn't have backup, he cannot fight TCM on his own.
Yeah, the other thing is they didn't have really the requisite burst, and that's because they didn't get a big Kunkka crit during that fight, not on the entire enemy team anyway. I didn't see if it existed any at all, but also Gyro, no damage items yet, just the Demon Edge. Once he gets an MKB, a Divine, whatever the item is he wants to go for, I think then they could actually just blow TCM up during the vacuum call down. Spectacular. But I do agree. TCM a fantastic high ground lineup, a very hard lineup to push into. Also just a lineup you don't want to overextend against. And Uebelst probably just overstayed the welcome there. Could have backed off, minimized their casualties, and just been content with forcing out 2 buybacks, but stuck around a bit too long. Did pay the price and pay the piper, and now Roshan respawning soon. If they get this next Rosh, they get the Gyro, his next damage item, or really his first true damage item. I think they'll be in much better shape.
Yeah, that's where, I mean, even without a proper damage item, he was sieging the high ground. They're pretty fast, and well, they got the tier 3 tower over time, and well, I would love to see just Aegis Divine Rapier. That'll end the game pretty fast, I reckon. I don't think Uebelst will have any problems whatsoever at that point. They may just want to play it safer than MKB, but I think they'll quickly realize that with their amount of disables they have and the protection they can offer a Gyrocopter, the Diffusal Blade as well to help deal with the Omni Knight, Guardian Angel, and Repel, they can do something like it at Divine Rapier.
They also have double blinks on the Bane and the Nyx. I think they had these in the last fight, but I didn't really notice. But their initiation range is insane now. X Torrent, Blink Grip, all the ways to get into the base. They'll clear off the creep wave in one clean crit, and now they work on the Huts, got to get them Dalas, and, well, he gets netted up, Exist does, but surged away. They'll continue to siege the racks here. And TCM got to make their stand soon. A blink in from Naturel, and a quick retreat from TCM. Teleports will come. There's your cooldown. Song catches 5. Where's the big follow-up? Where's that RP? There's no RP. There's no Ravage. Who are we kidding? Gyro pops his BKB. He is taking quite a bit of damage, but Fiend's Grip by Natural channel throughout the fight, keeping them alive. Warren's low. Probably going to fall. RMN not dead yet. Actually, Warren lives. The Omni Knight ult does it for now. Go Audio still tanking. Dropping low. This Weaver's doing work. No way are they turning this around. What is this game? This should not be happening. I feel like Ice Frog's secretly hacking this game just to make me look like a full Blueberry Ninja. Oh man, could fall here, but not with that Lincoln Sphere alive for the time being. Sakuchi's his way out. Buyback from the Naga, buyback from the Chen. They did have to use a double buyback, and they will lose a gem off the back of this. Now Exist brings Blueberry Ninja down to about 10 HP, but can't finish him off. Crit. The inner crit lord has been unleashed, and now a net. Blueberry Ninja wants to go back in. Your heal bomb. Spectacular. Once again, they find the kill. You gotta be kidding me. They should not be able to defend high ground at this point. Also, I do have to point out, Gyro, 2,700 gold, could have had his damage item there, but chose not to buy it before dying.
Too much minus armor seems to be the big issue here. TCM just do a lot of physical damage, even without physical damage items. Riptide, Weaver Bugs Medallion, and then the Dazzle Ultimate, which seems to always catch out almost the entire Uebelst team. Suddenly, all these heroes, Gyrocopter pops BKB, but he's getting like 5 or 6 shotted by a Weaver. Even Omni Knight with some right-click damage, which is easy to get those auto attacks off because of the degen aura, starts hitting hard as well. Minus armor is the name of the game for TCM, and it's giving them some ability to fight their way back into the game. And sealing the Aegis here also goes to Uebelst. I think
in comes Alex, just wanders in. He wants to make a go, but Go Audio is not going to be an easy target. Call down deployed. They'll be forced back. And there's your song. They're not going to get away. Not this time. TCM is turning this game around. Warcraft 3 surround attempted by Go Audio. This looks bad for R-Man. He'll pop his BKB. He just melts. My friggin' goodness. TCM making a mountain out of a molehill of a game. Somehow might be on their way to taking this and forcing game 2 with a 1-0 advantage. EDE trapped in the trees. Runs his way through. Drops a gem. The teleport gets canceled. They also got Roche, as you were mentioning, and the gold graph finally, at long last, will tip upwards, and the experience graph dramatically there too. And now the Naga might start to hurt, along with Blueberry Ninja. Up to 2,300 gold, can get that next damage item fairly soon. I think he has enough for the Demon Edge if he sells something here, and then Naga gets a Butterfly, or Yasha. Okay, going Manta style, but yeah, a little more damage for all those illusions, and just getting harder and harder to kill.
There they are, and then it's a huge jump up. This was a 12,000 gold deficit in experience as well, and Uebelst really, their item choices just don't seem to fit the game that they're up against. They built all the standard items, like you go Blink Dagger on Nyx, Bane going Blink or Force Up, great. Conquer items, not very defensive, but they're still your normal items. Gyrocopter the most standard items possible, but against these heroes, they should be getting Ghost Scepters, they should be getting just plus armor. This is not the right item choices for the given game. If they had all these, if Gyrocopter had a Ghost Scepter at this point in the game, I think Uebelst would be winning these team fights. Even though it's a completely non-standard item to get, it's exactly what he needs.
Yeah, Ghost Scepter is so good against Naga and Snare. Really negates the power of that hero. And her illusions can't hit you either. Riptide, just not going to do a whole lot. And all that minus armor, mostly negated. Plus, you wait out the Omni ult, and then you could go back in. Wouldn't mind seeing a Diffusal Blade, as awkward as that sounds on any hero, be it the
They've got a Diffusal Blade on Dux here.
Okay, so one picked up, but you'd ideally like more than one, I feel, in this game.
Yeah.
Especially such an AoE-heavy lineup.
Yeah, and you can get rid of the Guardian Angel as well, so because he's gonna, you'll probably use a Diffusal early on the repel, and then after that happens, when you go in with the Diffusal, he'll pop the Guardian Angel, and it's like, oh, Diffusal's on cooldown, we can't really use it again, and they're suddenly, they can be stunned, but they can't be killed.
We might head towards the late game here. 38 minutes in, it actually feels a lot later, because Uebelst has been trying to end the game for a little while now, and the Assault Curse has been picked up on the Kunkka, so the lack of minus, or of plus armor you mentioned for this team, this will really help. Pretty much negates all of the Riptide minus armor, I believe. Yeah, it's exactly the same additional armor for your team. -5, +5, call it nothing, and then there's just the Medallion, so Gyro will feel a bit tankier. He has picked up his MKB. If he gets a Satanic, and maybe works towards his next item, I think that's the point where TCM will be hard-pressed to kill him. The Naga illusions are tanky. Going for a Manta is go audio, but more illusions doesn't mean your illusions live through this amount of AoE. And Uebelst, despite being not as far ahead as they once were, I still maintain they have the better late game lineup. They just have to continue to farm more items.
Yeah, they definitely just have to.
They're going to prove me wrong, though. I mean, TCM is totally going to win this game since I keep on saying that. It's
Blueberry
the
Ninja's got a lot
curse.
of money. He's got 4,000 gold, so we're going to see more. But just pick up a Desolator. Let's add more minus armor. Probably the best item he could get here. It's the most cost-effective damage output. Much more cost-effective than an MKB. You don't need the MKB because there's no evasion right now. So Desolator would be a fantastic pickup for Blueberry Ninja right now.
Yeah, Desolator would be a nice choice. There's no evasion yet on Gyro, so you don't really need an MKB. If he wants to take it a bit later, that's probably the way to go. But like you said, lots of minus armor. Stacking it is always nice. And, well, for the time being, Uebelst is going to back up and farm.
Bit of a worry there. I guess not wanting to fight him. They still have the Aegis on the Radiant side, correct? Yeah, they still have the Aegis on Naga Siren, so they don't really want to fight into that. And now that Naga Siren's level 20, this Sleep Song of the Siren has a 60-second cooldown, which is also kind of just tricky and annoying. It's hard to gank well, you can't gank Naga Siren. And even just team fights, it's almost always going to be up.
Yeah, TCM, they'll rotate with undercover of smoke towards the enemy jungle. Uebelst hiding in their jungle, farming together. It was not too long ago they were just farming wherever they wanted by themselves. The tides have really turned. And that smoke gank is on a move. Parade of TCM heroes towards the enemy jungle. They'll walk up the river, and Atsi will be revealed. Now the jig is up. Will they still go in? That's the big question. Go Audio could have just slept immediately. Would have caught somebody, but he wasn't sure where that hero was, and decides not to. Aegis about to be reclaimed. I think they've missed the window, at least to fight with the Aegis, but they might just be content to sit back and farm the enemy jungle.
Yeah, I'd love to see him get some map control. They've already got the one ward near the top of the river, but they should get some wards deep in the enemy jungle. This is what they were doing earlier on when they had the advantage where they just looked to sort of group up, push down towers, but now once again they feel strong enough that they can maybe sort of venture out, and it's actually the German squad sort of sitting in their own base, playing very safe and passive.
They do have a really good lineup to defend the high ground, though. Vacuum, called out. I guess the one concern is getting caught by sleep, but as long as you spread out, TCM can't really punish you too much. Like, one hero can get netted. I see you've disconnected from the game. Not sure if your computer crashed, Gods. Oh no, we've lost Gods here. Hopefully he'll come back soon. In the meantime, Uebelst is continuing to try to fight as much farm as they can. Once Gods gets back in the game, we'll try and get him back on the call.
Should we back?
Okay. Yeah, you're still here.
Good to know. My internet decided to spaz for a second, but I'm reconnecting now.
Okay, cool. So, well, Wern's just farming this top lane. You're not missing too much, buddy. Well, this could go. Maybe this does go TCM's way. The one thing I'll say is it seems like they're a lot more coordinated here in some of these skirmishes.
Yeah, it seems that TCM just have been team fighting slightly better all around them than Uebelst have.
Yeah, Nyx Assassin, undercover Vendetta, moving around through the enemy river, won't find anything. RMN trying to find the enemy H-hits. Oh, dodges a net. Dodges a bullet there. Like I mentioned, if you Shadow Blade, the net won't connect unless the enemy has True Sight. But if it hits you, then you're trapped and they see you. It's an awkward little mechanic, that one. Teleport into the bottom lane. It'll be E to E. Now working towards a Shiva's Guard. Vacuum on Blueberry Ninja. Doesn't even care. Just work out this tower. He's going to find it too. He's also working on E to E. And now up to 6.5k gold. I wonder if he maybe goes for something big here. Divine Rapier time?
Rapier? I think we both just want Divine Rapiers here. We're like, Weaver, get Divine Rapier. Jar Couple, let's get one.
There's so many good heroes to use one. I just mostly want to see it get into the hands of this Kunkka. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. He's got 4k gold with on top of his Assault Crest, but he needs... I mean, I would normally say heart, but with all the physical damage, he's got a lot of armor from the Assault Crest, but...
But more armor is probably better.
Evasion? I'd go Heaven's Halberd, I would say. As probably the best item here.
Yeah, I feel like they just want almost more damage, even. Or another Diffusal Blade even wouldn't be bad. Just this Omni... Like, either they just want to burst TCM, or they just want to remove that Omni ult so they're not invincible for so long.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, it's definitely an awkward situation as far as what item you go for.
They're now ventured out once again. They're trying to take control of the enemy jungle. It's really weird because it's neither team sort of maintaining control over the map. TCM ventured out, took over the dire jungle without any contest. Now it's Uebelst getting map control and not putting down too many wards here, which is really something they're struggling with, the map control. Now that they've given away the gem to the Omni Knight, but they still should be just getting wards up regardless. Their wards are all defensive on their side of the map, but right now, I'm guessing they're just somewhat waiting for the next Roshan, maybe. With that, they'll feel a lot safer.
And it might be... Both teams have very nice Roshan lineups, because TCM have Naga, and Song of the Siren automatically makes your team good at least jacking the Aegis, potentially. And for Uebelst, they've got Darkseer, all the AoE I've talked about before this game. So a Roshan engagement would be rather spectacular, one way or the other.
Blue-Green Ninja's now got some damage output on top of what he had before. He's got the MKB up. It's going to be, well, I guess, preemptively counter any evasion that Gyrocopter might get as a butterfly, and Heaven's Halberd that the Kunkka might get. So this is definitely useful for him, and well, he's doing a decent job as far as keeping up somewhat as far as net worth goes with the Dire team. Him, Naga, Siren, both almost on par with the Gyrocopter and Kunkka.
When are we going to see a ballsy item from somebody? That's really what I'm keeping my eyes on. Eagle Horn the choice.
No.
Or Eagle Song. God, I hate some of these name changes from Dota 1.
He hasn't actually seen the MKB, but he should expect this, and also Blue-Ray Ninja was almost expecting the butterfly, which is why he preemptively gets an MKB.
I like how he bought that and still has 2k gold. That's a luxury purchase for sure.
Even Omni Knight with 3.7k, Naga Siren with 4.8k, all their defenses have been held because of buyback gold, so they're just constantly repeating the same thing. Let's make sure I have buyback gold.
45 minutes in, and this game shows no sign of ending anytime soon. It is, of course, the Corsair Summer Tour 2013, brought to you by Beyond the Summit. I'm LD, he's Gods. There's a $3 Dota TV ticket available. If you don't already have an Elgato Courier, you should get one, and you can get some views for watching this very tournament, as well as all the other content we're casting. And Gods, we're casting a lot of content over the next month or so.
Oh yeah, and also you get some views for content we're not casting, but...
Yeah, any Beyond the... When I say we, I mean Beyond the Summit, not just me and Gods, which is... If we had to cast all the stuff that Beyond the Summit covers, then... Well,
yeah, no, and when I say stuff we're not... Even stuff that technically Beyond the Summit not cast, because it's done by the casters, so people like Purge and Blitz and Vikramont who've been doing casting for us, even when they're casting other tournaments, you may get views.
Yeah, Roshan now under siege. In come the Centaurs. The stop is there. Roche drops low. Aegis picked up by Exist. The song was just a split-second late. He will be able to jack that cheese. He picks it up. Do they try to fight this? They do have the Omni ult. How confident do they feel? Call down comes through. Back. Whoa, it's all here. Oh no. Go Audio pops the cheese. Can he fight his way out against everything? The full arsenal? It looks like it's not the case. Now Blueberry Ninja on the run. Spike Carapace will be his downfall. Prevents the Sakuchi escape. It's a team wipe. It's at long last that big AoE combo that Uebelst has been hunting for 47 minutes.
Naturel, man. That guy, he's the hero for Uebelst there. He Fiend script up the Omni Knight, instantly prevented the Guardian Angel from being cast, and he paid for it with his life. The Weaver tried to, I think it was Weaver who focused him down ultimately. But Weaver, he didn't get any MKB procs. He couldn't stop the Fiend script, and as a result, without Guardian Angel, TCM got destroyed. Luckily, they have a ton of buybacks here, and they can at least force another fight here. Whether or not they can hold to another map.
Yeah, these Naga illusions are just not long for this world, I feel. Blueberry Ninja is going to get crit to the face. Whoa, mama.
That's the Omni Knight as well. Omni Knight was behind, and he just melted without casting a spell.
Dem crits.
After buying back.
Dem crits. Yeah, he's got a Divine Rapier, by the way. Completely missed that pickup, to be honest, in the chaos of that Roach fight. But that'll be it. Once they finally go for the big damage item, game ends rather quickly. Great play from... Well, I won't say great play, but nice play from TCM with this strategy. Made things interesting for a while. The fact that they even took it this late, I feel, is a testament to their team play, because I honestly still feel their draft was a little bit dubious.
It was unusual, to say the least. Here, they're going to get a couple last kills here in the fountain. And TCM, they tap out. They go down one game, but... Definitely show some creativity here. We'll see what creative strats they can come with in game 2, but I definitely feel they need more stuns.
When you have exactly 0 actual stuns, aside from train creep, that's tough. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for game 1. Take it away. Game 2 coming up soon.
Yeah, we'll have Game 2 coming up, guys. Our last series of tonight. We'll have plenty more Corsair Summer Gaming Tournament action tomorrow when we go into the winner bracket, as well as our final second, third place side. fnatic and KP are looking good in this group, but right now Uebelst and TCM, they're fighting for survival. That was game 1. When we come back, we'll see if TCM can bounce back, force a game 3 off Uebelst. The Germans will take it 2-0. Stay tuned.